stuff in. I'm actually impressed with how quickly and how well they've been able to pick it up. And we were able to do some work out there in February and the end of January. Not with, you can't have balls out there, but at least towels, and you can line up and kind of get the bones of the system in without having to actually hit anybody. But for as much as we've thrown at them, like today was a third down day and it was all a lot of new stuff, I thought they've done a really good job of picking it up. I think, the fact they've been exposed to a number of systems, depending on how long they've been here, they've seen some of the concepts of the terminology in the past, and I'm really impressed with the way they've picked it up. I mean, sometimes, obviously, the execution isn't what you're hoping for, but all it takes is one guy who's a half step off or so because it's the first time he's doing something. But, they work extremely hard. There's a lot of football smart guys. There's a lot of leadership, I think, from the older guys that have been here that are hungry to win and have success. And it's kind of trickled down through. And then there's a lot of young talent that's pushing. So it's all kind of working together pretty well. I told them, if we have 11 guys, we got to play with 11. So if it's 11 or if it's 20, we're going to find a role for whoever the guys are that can help us win. Whether if they can do one thing well, we'll do it well. If they can pick up a 3rd and 6, they'll go in and pick it up, and then that'll be it. And then, so hopefully we have enough guys. Hopefully we're 11. But I mean, we're looking for as many as we can get, and we'll try to use them as best we can.
How much of your own imprint are you trying to put on it, as opposed to maybe trying to keep it simple and keep the terminology the same all the
We just we changed everything. So so it's hard in some respects on those guys. I tried to simplify it as best I could. We try to shorten things, but we'll be able to run the different tempos and everything with what the terminology is. And really, I haven't kept anything from that's been here. Just kind of wholesale put a new deal in. So it's been difficult for those guys. It's been a lot of work, a lot of grinding, a lot of film, video, or drawings and iPad, but they've adapted pretty well.
Was that always your intention, or did you kind of decide to take that route after watching film?
No, I just think you can. Actually, when I was last here, I kind of morphed a system that was already here into kind of my own deal. But the terminology stayed the same, so I had to kind of relate everything, which was fine. But, starting from scratch, so to speak, there was really no reason to, I don't know. Like, so I always thought that, hey, why shouldn't one guy just learn it? But really, what was there to, I don't know what was to learn. Like, I thought, this is what we're going to run. And rather than try to change the whole operation, it's all different. So I thought we had to just start from scratch. And I give them credit. They've done a good job with it.
What's your impressions of the quarterback competition thus far?
It's tough to. Those guys have a tough job right now with 6 people, because some periods they get 2 reps each, 12-play period. It's 18, they get 3 each. So like you're in there. If one of them's a run, it's almost like you feel like I got to complete this pass regardless of. So, but I think after not just the 3 practices in, but we've had a number of chance to work without a ball anyway. Before that, I think it's starting to separate itself out, I think I have a pretty good idea of where we're headed. But right now we're staying consistent with the reps. When we start doing these play-up periods, guys will start switching in and out a little bit more with quote-unquote 1s and 2s and getting a little more work with those guys to get comfortable. So for right now, it's all equal. 3 in. Our plan was kind of complete the first week more or less equal, meaning first week, meaning first 5 practices. And then after that, I think we'll have enough on tape to be able to fairly say, hey guys, I'm going to start leaning this way. Now, they could change, but I think we're going to start to kind of separate it out as we go.
When you say you think you know where it's going, does that mean in terms of the depth chart, or even going into August knowing who the starter might be?
Well, I think I'm just saying myself. I rely on the staff and everybody to I don't want to predetermine anything, because then you can start to kind of figure a way that this guy is kind of in there with the better guy. I just think I know we have guys that can play the position, which is good. But I just if you've been around a while, like North Turner used to say, look, the guy picks the rock up and throws it across the lake. That's the quarterback. I think sometimes you can go out there and go, okay, we'll take him. So, but we'll see how it all goes. There's a lot of work left to do, and we'll see how it goes.
Are you looking for the best quarterback, or are you looking for the guy who runs your system the best?
Well, the system. is pretty adaptable to. We got all the gun runs. You know, we can run it with the quarterback. We can throw. We can throw it deep. We can throw. So, to me, it's really the best quarterback, and then we'll worry about adapting what he does best with the system. You know, and I think we're trying to. Even when I script it now, I try to accentuate their positives as best I can. You know, in the system. You know, I don't know who's going to be in there, and if a guy misses a block, all of a sudden, he doesn't get to run the play, or so you're dependent on a lot of guys, but. Even when we're scripting them now, I try to say, okay, these are the, talk to the guys about these are the plays you like. Okay, we'll try. Now you got to grow at some point. You start getting them a little uncomfortable, but I think there's enough in there that could fit all 6 of these guys. So really, you're just looking for the best guy.
What's your comfort level in playing a true freshman as your quarterback?
Well, I just think if in fairness to the team, if he's the best guy, he plays. I don't. I mean, that doesn't mean Arthur. I'm just saying Arthur or Jalen are like the guys or whatever. I don't. If they're the better guys and they can handle it, they're gonna play. I mean, I don't. They're here now, so that's a tremendous advantage for them. And I don't. Both of those guys. Again, and I'm not saying, but both of those guys are very mature, football smart, talented guys. So if they can handle the job, then anymore to me. I mean, guys are on like 5-semester plans in college football for the most part. Now, not so much quarterbacks, but if they're really good, they are. Skill guys are. And, maybe they stay for 5 years, but not a lot of that. So, I don't have any reservations about it. And if we feel like they can handle the job, then that's what we'd have to go with, in fairness to the team, really.
How much is that?
Take 2 more questions.
How much does that give them? How much of an advantage does it give them? Can you quantify that being here in the
Oh,
spring?
I don't. That's not even close. I don't know if we've done in 2 months a tremendous amount of work. Like I left L.A. thinking, I don't get the players till April 15th. Like you get here, they're here. And so you're in the meetings, the cut-ups, the film, the reps. I mean, there's a lot to work through, particularly for those 2 guys in terms of, just calling plays in the huddle, taking snaps under center. There's just a lot of little things, never mind the big things that they have to deal with. But I don't know what would have happened if they didn't get here because, they get here in June or July, they're kind of on their own. Even though they're with the team, there's not a lot, you can't meet and talk football. So I just think about all the work we did already in 2 months, and we got, 4 more weeks of spring ball left. It's invaluable, really. Yeah, it gives them a big advantage.
Raheem Blackshear, I mean, what are your impressions of him, and where does he think he kind of fits in your scheme?
I really like him. I mean, I think he's a super kid, and he's got tremendous talent, and we just have to find as many ways possible to get him the ball, and and keep him upright for 13, 14, 15, whatever games. So because. I think we have a couple home run hitters, so to speak, on offense, and he's one of them. And we got to have him, upright for the whole stretch. But in saying that, we also got to make sure he gets the ball X amount of times a game and give him a chance to put the ball in the end zone.
So do you have to come with a touch count, maybe, rough estimate what you want to get?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to go into the game. I mean, when Ray and Brian were here, they were getting the ball. The number was 50. I mean, it's a high number, but it was like if they get the ball 50 times and 4 of them go in the end zone, we'll be okay. And then Kenny could maybe hit one in time. So, but it was 50. I mean, I don't know if we ever got there, but I remember times we darn near killed Ray, and so it was close. I mean, but that was like the thought that 3rd downs and some red zone passes and a couple shots, and the rest of the time you're carrying the load. So I think with a guy like Raheem, I don't think we want to get him 50, but I mean, we want to make him count when he gets them, and then. A guy like Bo, guys that have just different level speed and ability, we have to make sure we give them a chance to put the ball in the end zone.
You expect to be a tight end friendly offense? I mean, you have a really good tight end,
Yeah, I wish he's not healthy this spring, and then I like the group. I mean, they're young. Vokalek's got a chance to be really good. I think he's just got a long way to go in terms of growing into his body as much as anything. He got here 208, and he's 2 whatever he is now, and so. Yeah, I mean, and the freshman Jalen Jordan's got a chance to be a really good player. He's just very, very raw. It's a good thing he's here early. But I think you have to be. I think that creates a lot of problems. I think that's where football is going. I know where it went from like everybody's 4 wides to that's not really what everybody's doing anymore. They got these big guys that can run just like the wideouts,
Yep.
and they're bad matchups for people. And obviously doing it the last couple of years with one of the best ever and a guy who's going to be really good, and Hunter Henry, you kind of just see the possibilities a little more than maybe I did in the past. You know?
Thanks.
So, all right, thanks guys.